The NBA trade deadline is always an exciting time for basketball fans. It's a period when teams evaluate their rosters and make critical decisions about the future of their franchises. Some teams make bold moves to strengthen their chances of contention, while others opt for a rebuild by trading away their star players for future assets. In this video, we will analyze the winners and losers of the NBA trade deadline, focusing on the teams that made significant moves and the impact those moves will have on their respective playoff aspirations. Winners. 1. Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets emerged as clear winners of this year's trade deadline. Already boasting a star-studded lineup featuring Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, they added even more firepower by acquiring Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge. These veteran players provide invaluable experience and depth to an already potent team, making the Nets an even more formidable threat in the Eastern Conference. 2. Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets made a big splash at the trade deadline by acquiring standout forward Aaron Gordon from the Orlando Magic. Gordon's versatility and athleticism perfectly complement the Nuggets' already strong roster, which includes NBA superstar Nikola Jokic and rising star Jamal Murray. With Gordon on board, the Nuggets have strengthened their chances of making a deep playoff run and potentially challenging the top teams in the Western Conference. 3. Miami Heat. The Miami Heat made a series of moves at the trade deadline that significantly improved their roster. They added veteran forward Trevor Ariza, who brings a wealth of playoff experience and defensive prowess. Additionally, they acquired sharpshooter Victor Oladipo, adding scoring ability and versatility to their backcourt. With these additions, the Heat are well positioned to make another run deep into the playoffs after their impressive performance in last year's NBA Finals. Losers. 1. Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics had high expectations for this season but failed to make any significant moves at the trade deadline. With a roster that has been plagued by injuries and inconsistencies, the Celtics missed an opportunity to bolster their chances of contention. Their lack of activity at the trade deadline suggests a lack of confidence in their current roster, which may hurt their playoff aspirations. 2. Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors were expected to be playoff contenders this season, but their performance has been below expectations. Despite their struggles, the Raptors opted to keep their core intact and did not make any substantial moves at the trade deadline. While this decision may have been influenced by their championship-winning season just 2 years ago, it leaves them in a precarious position for the remainder of this season and beyond. 3. Portland Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers made a minor move at the trade deadline by acquiring Norman Powell from the Toronto Raptors. While Powell is a talented player, the move did not significantly improve the Blazers' chances of contention. With a starting lineup featuring Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, the Blazers needed to make a more substantial move to address their defensive weaknesses and enhance their chances of making a deep playoff run. In conclusion, the NBA trade deadline saw some teams make significant moves to strengthen their chances of contention, while others opted for a more conservative approach. The Brooklyn Nets emerged as big winners with their acquisitions of Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, further solidifying their status as favorites in the Eastern Conference. The Denver Nuggets and Miami Heat also improved their rosters, positioning themselves for deep playoff runs. On the other hand, the Boston Celtics, Toronto Raptors, and Portland Trailblazers failed to make significant moves and may struggle to meet their playoff aspirations. The trade deadline has undoubtedly reshaped the landscape of the NBA, and it will be fascinating to see how these moves affect the playoff race and ultimately the quest for the championship.